In this video, we're going to learn how to create the lowercase a in brush lettering. Hi, my name is Shelly Hitz. I am the artist behind the website yourcreativeadventure.com, and I'm the author of the Brush Strokes Workbook. This video is the first in a series all about how to create the lowercase alphabet. And in each video, we're going to start off with an encouraging quote just because I love to encourage you. And so today's quote is, "An artist cannot fail. It is a success to be one." Charles Horton Cooley. So in this video, I'm going to be using the Zebra Superfine brush pen. This is probably one of my favorite brush pens and one that I use all the time. And I'm going to go through how I've set this up. This is in my Brush Strokes Workbook. And what I do on the first line is I have you trace each stroke separately. So if you haven't yet, make sure to check out my video on the basic strokes. This will get you started on the right foot with brush lettering. And the basic strokes tend to make up your letters. So the A is made up of the oval and the underturn. And I have arrows on here to show you the directions. And so we're just going to start off practicing the oval and the underturn. And in this workbook, you can trace directly over the letters because this is on super smooth paper, which won't fray your brush pens, or you can use tracing paper. I love tracing paper because then you can just use it over and over again with the same page. But don't be afraid to actually write in this workbook. That's why I have paid extra money to make sure it's super smooth paper. And this is for intended for small pens, this particular worksheet. So the larger pens won't work out with it. And what you want to do is you want to make sure you're breathing, you're going slow, and just practicing. Don't worry about getting it perfect. You're just practicing. But you do want to practice going slow. The slower you go, you will be able to really get your strokes better and transition between the thicks and the thins and so forth. So that's the first step, is just to trace each stroke separately. The next is to combine them in and do them, trace the entire letter. So you can just start over here, and then you're still going to be picking up your pen between strokes. That's one of the things that's different between calligraphy and cursive handwriting, is you actually pick up your pen between the strokes. And so that's a good practice to get into. You don't always have to do that. Like when I'm lettering, sometimes I don't always lift my pen every single time with every single stroke. But it is a good practice to get into. It slows you down. It helps you really just take each letter one at a time and really get your strokes down well. And so in the workbook, typically if you need to lift your pen, there's a little plus mark between each of the strokes to show you like there's two separate strokes that you're making here. And your thicks and your thins, you're starting thin, coming up, transitioning to thick, coming up, you're doing thick, coming back up to thin. And don't worry about getting it perfect. It's just about practicing the strokes. Even just 5 minutes of practice every day consistently is going to make a big difference, rather than just practicing in big chunks of time every once in a while. It's the consistency that really makes a difference. So now it's your turn. Now you're taking the training wheels off and you're going to start to write the letter without having the letter there to trace. So you can see here, like I went up a little higher than I did here. Those are just slight variations, and those variations are completely fine. There's really no right or wrong in art. There's definitely in traditional calligraphy, there's definitely a right and a wrong. But with brush lettering, modern calligraphy style, there's some basic things that can really help you, with your thicks and your thins and how to hold the pen. If you haven't watched my video on how to hold the pen, definitely watch that one as well. But then once you get the basics down, it's just a matter of practicing. And believe me, if I can learn this, anyone can. And so you can continue to fill up these rows with your letters. You can even write words on here later on once you know all your letters. So I'm just going to write the word awesome, because I just want to tell you, you're just doing an awesome job, and just the fact that you're here, you're learning, you're practicing. It takes time to really learn, but like I said, if I can learn it, I really believe anyone can. So this is the video for lowercase a. Make sure to check out the rest of my series to learn the entire alphabet, and check out my workbook, the Brush Strokes Workbook. You can find it at yourcreativeadventure.com/workbook. Again, my name is Shelly Hitz, and I'll see you in the next video.